It's your boy Jamar back with another video. Back with another banger. Today I'm reviewing The Chi Season 8, Episode 5 entitled The Dead of Winter. And this episode is the best of the season so far. We're halfway through the season till the series is over. And can I just say, if you don't want to be spoiled, go ahead and click out this video because this episode, it went down. I'm not going to lie. And I kind of predicted how it was going to go. So let's get right into it. So the episode starts how it ended last week with Tiffany confronting Nook, asking Nook what was Bakari talking about, and then that's when Nook had to make up a lie talking about some. Oh, well, it wasn't really a lie because it was the truth, but he knows that's not what Bakari was talking about because he was like, oh. Well, I've been cooperating with the police, this and that and the third, and then Tiffany's like, now I realize I've been sleeping with a snitch this whole time. It's like, girl. But yeah, that happened. So then Reg and his stud sidekick, they shoot Nora under Rosalind's claim order, and then Reg texts Rosalind that it's done, and they end up leaving. Emmett walks in on Deontay watching porn. He snatches his phone and he's furious. So he talks to Keisha about it, and Keisha suggests that basically Emmett should have a talk with Deontay about the birds and the bees. So then Emmett's nervous because he's never had that talk himself because his father just told him to wear columns and that was it. So he gets advice from his father, and his father basically tells him to just give him advice, and they end up having to talk, and he tells him about a lot of stuff that he should know about, and basically what educates him on what sex is before he even engages into it. So then Keisha suggests with all the moms that they take all the boys' phones to their 17 so they can be more occupied with their life and not just stuck to their phones. So now all the moms agree and they take all the boys' phones, and the boys are mad because at Deontay because he got their phone taken. But then they end up finding some outside activities. Darnell and his girlfriend take them out, and they have a good time at the arcade, and they just have a good old time. So then Shaw's at home with his girlfriend. She basically explains that she has a son and she wants Shaw to meet him, but first they have to go through the boy's father. So then they go through the boy's father, and at first it goes okay, and the boy ends up integrating him, and then basically he ends up approving of him. So then later on in the episode he meets her son, and he gets reacquainted with her son. At first the son gives him a hard time, then he accepts him into the family. So then Lene texts Bakari to come over because she hears gunshots and she's scared. So then Bakari comes over, he comforts her, and then they end up sleeping together. So then Bakari asks her, does that mean they're back together? And she says no, and he basically says he needs a place to stay. And she basically agrees to let him stay there, but they're not together, and this and that and the third. And even later on in the episode, she goes out, he asks her where she's going, and she says none of your business. So then Reg pulls up to Jake's crib. Well, no, Jake pulls up to Reg's crib, and Jake confronts Reg, basically telling him to leave Bakari alone. And he's basically like, boy, why you like he your son or your brother? And he's like, because he's my brother. And he's like, nah, I'm your brother. And he's like, nah, you don't get to tell me who's my brother or whatever. And then that's when they basically get into a heated argument. He basically says that he don't care about Trig, Jake, or anybody. And then, Jake leaves, and then Reg ends up feeling bad afterwards. While Shad and his girlfriend are out, with his girlfriend's friend and her new boyfriend, they see on the news that Nora has been killed, and they look devastated. So then Emmett is planning on proposing to Keisha, and basically he sets up a nice romantic ceremony in front of the living room, and then Keisha and Emma end up proposing to each other, and they both say yes. So then Emma and Keisha are finally engaged, and I'm happy about that. It's long overdue, and I can't wait to see their wedding. So then, boom, Lene is trying to tell Tiffany about Nook killing Rob. So then she goes to the club and sees and runs into Trig, and Trig asks her what's wrong, and she basically ends up telling Trig what happened, plays in the recording, and Trig says he must be the one that told Tiffany. So then Trig tells Emmett, and basically Emmett says that he needs to tell Keisha. He's like, no, he needs to tell Tiffany first. He's like, all right, I'm just proposal with Keisha, but I'm gonna have to tell her after. He's like, I bet. So then, Trig ends up telling Tiffany. Tiffany's mad at Trig at first because she's like, why you ain't tell me? But then she ends up luring Nook upstairs, and then she says, this is for Rob, and shoots him right in the head. And Nook has been killed by Tiffany. So Nook is now dead. So that's how this week's episode ended. So, I mean, how y'all feel? I feel like she is about time. Nook has killed. Rob has gotten Alicia killed, has gotten Zay killed. It's about time Nook meets his maker. So, and he killed Duda. So I'm glad that Nook is finally out of here. So that was the end of this episode. And I'll see you guys next week for episode 6 of The Shy.